All right, welcome to Dare Whimsy Between Us Girls. My name is Sweetie Berry, and I have some guests and some of our writers at Dare Whimsy with me. I'd like to introduce them quickly. The first one up is going to be Sarah L. Cook. I think you'll know Sarah when you see her, and I'm sure that you'll recognize her from Raising CEO Kids. Sarah's a blogger at sarahlcook.com. She's an expert. She lives an expert on finance and family fun. She is a systems organizer, and she is amazing as a direct sales long-term experience, car winner, all kinds of special things. But most importantly, she is my friend, and she is here, and I'm thankful for that. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
I'm so glad you're with us. Let me pass the ball, and I'm going to take it over to our next guest so everybody in the audience can start to know who the people are. Gail Roddy, you're going to be next up, and I'm going to put you in the big screen, so here we go. My friends, this is Gail Roddy, who's an author, a speaker, and a writer. She writes at gailroddy.com. Some of you know her from Calling All Mothers to the Well, her one-woman show. It's a 6-act show that goes live in different dinner theaters, as well as she's a community organizer of the 501c3 Osiris organization. It's been in place for 17 years. Welcome, Gail.
Thank you, sweetie. Hello, everyone. So happy to be here.
I'm so pleased you're with us. It just delights me to have you with us from Minnesota and to share so many good things from your experience as an entrepreneur and as a solo entrepreneur to your experience as being an elder in my life. And I love the fact that you're walking this walk with me today.
I am too thrilled, sweetie.
All right. Our next up is my friend and dear sweet human being, Kristen Smith. Kristen, you will know from the book Bring Pretty Back. She is coming to us from up in Yankee Land, too, and she's going to be here sharing with us ways to bring pretty back into your life. The Women of Dare Whimsy are about restore, relax into being yourself, and she always has the most fun ideas in my home and in my life. I love the fact that Kristen comes and shares with us quick things to make fun happen. She keeps me in stitches, and I welcome you here today.
Thank you.
This morning, we're going to start our very first Dare Whimsy Between Us Girls. I am so delighted to have you here. Some of you have been asking, what exactly is Dare Whimsy? Dare Whimsy is my own personal dream. You know, I've worked with so many gifted children, gifted adults, gifted writers and authors, and now as a strategist, companies and brands. But one of the things I have always wanted to do was gather the girls and gather the women who are bright and intelligent and creative and have some inside talks. Between Us Girls are those talks. You know, just between us, it's pretty tough to be a bright creative. And sometimes there are conversations that I want to have with other eagles who fly to their nest, and I want to bring them home to my nest and have these conversations. And today is just that sort of conversation. You know, as a bright woman who's an entrepreneur, who's a mom, who's a stepmom, who is traveling with her business, it's sometimes very isolating. I may be in front of a crowd speaking a good deal. I may be in front of a board meeting. I may be working one-on-one with clients in a hangout like this. But the time to just play and hang out with my girlfriends, that doesn't happen very often. And so this year I created my own playground just between us girls to share the conversation of what it's like to be a gifted woman in today's life and to be the mother of gifted women and the grandmother of gifted women. So I welcome you to the conversation. I'm going to turn over the conversation to the group because it's not fun if we're not all talking. So the bottom line is today is we're going to be talking about how to avoid isolationism as a gifted woman in your daily life and how to find more time for fun and fellowship. Who'd like to go first?
I'll go first, sweetie.
Oh, thanks, Gail.
For me, you know, I can do that isolation thing so easily. And what I found is that I have to reach out to other women to talk because you know what? If I isolate, my brain runs a mile a minute. And I will just rehash things and rehash things that go back to when I was in high school, mistakes I made, things that I didn't do perfectly. And I have to connect with other people, other women, and to share that, to share my mind racing. Tell them that that's what I'm doing and have them help talk me into connection with other women. I just have to make a space for that because I don't like that feeling anymore. I've lived with that feeling all my life with that racing brain. The older I get, I don't like it anymore. So that's what I do.
That is so important. You know, it's just so easy to let things happen that keep us in our own heads. I laugh and say that my schedule is very different than other people because I get up really early to work with things that are in different time zones. And part of that beauty is that I can get things done early and be a mom and a wife a lot of the day. The negative of that is I'm being a mom and a wife a lot of the rest of the day, and I don't have a lot of time for playtime. One of the things I have learned to do is to really pick 1 or 2 or 3 friends per year, or sometimes even per quarter, for 13 weeks, to say, I want to spend more quality time playing. And so we are so busy, sometimes it's hard to even find a morning for breakfast or to find a morning for a phone call. So I have started picking a day of the week for my tightest friend, for my 1 or 2 friends that I talk to regularly. And then I have 3 friends that I intentionally see each month on a certain day. Like my friend Paige, I like to see her on my birthday day, which is the 24th. So no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, even if I'm out of town, we have a Google Hangout on the 24th, which is my birthday. Just talked to her about that last night of going into 2015 to see if we could still make that arrangement. Our goal is to be in person, but sometimes we both travel as busy women, and so we either do a hangout like this, we get on this FaceTime with our phone. Whatever we do, we make a commitment that at 7 o'clock on that day, we're going to have 15 to 20 minutes of really good check-in time with each other. What are some of the things you do, Sarah?
You know, some of the things that I do are actually reaching out via cards. I find that when I reach out and affirm people with the written note, they often enlarge their own heart to accept themselves more, but it also provides a way for that welcoming them into my space. And so five or more cards a day. In fact, I've just been writing a bunch of them this morning. I don't know if you can see that, but
Neat.
You know, the card writing and affirming that those people has opened up that affirmation to come to me as well, and it allows for some vulnerability that way. I also do the same thing you do, a lot of FaceTime with friends that are across the miles, so that even if I'm not getting out of the house with my tightest girlfriends, I can see them face to face and we can have great conversations. So I do schedule time just like you do.
I love those answers. Gail, I wanted you to talk with me a little bit because you and I do this in real life, but what are the ways that we ourselves hold ourselves accountable as bright, clever women to not stay in our heads so much and actually get out of the house and see other people locally?
Well, one thing I do, sweetie, and I love your idea about having a certain date. I'm going to write that down because that makes it easy when you have your birthday, where you can have that as a marker of when to meet. And so what I do also is that I simply remind myself that my perfectionism can get me in trouble. And I have one thing that I say all the time. You're brilliant. You're smart, you're capable, and you're human. And that stops me right there. I don't have to even go on anymore. I know that that brings me into community with everyone else. And when I say that to myself, then my next step is to reach out to another human, another woman that I love, and connect with her on the phone. And that just brings me back to out of my head.
You know, Kristen absolutely models this all the time. She just took a trip with some girls real recently, and she had such a good time of taking time. In fact, she makes road trips a lot. I'm very privileged to have her make road trips here. But Kristen, tell us how those things happen. How long does it take to plan them? What do you guys do, and what is it like?
Well, I am really a spur-of-the-moment kind of girl, so I don't do a lot of planning, to be honest with you. And I find that I have to force myself because I do work from home, and all of my sons are grown and out of the house, so I'm home, by myself. I don't have to go to children's activities and things like that. I'm home alone a lot. So I find that the more I am home, alone, and I write and I do things, it seems like the more I tend to stay alone. So I have to force myself to go out because I really am a people person, and I love to be with people, and I love to do the road trips. I love to be with my friends. So I just have to, I'll just get up in the morning and say, I need this, or tomorrow I need this, and I've done that. Tomorrow I'm going to go to Arkansas, so I will just go. But I just have to, the time, it seems like there's never the right time. because there's always something that will hold you back, whether it be a husband or kids or finances or something. But I think you have to make the time to get out of the house and even out of your area. Yes, be with local people, but also to go see and do things, for yourself, because otherwise I do find that if I don't do that, I do tend to be more isolated, and I get more drawn into myself, and I can really turn into a recluse that I'm really not. But it just seems like the more I do it, the more I retreat. So I really have to force myself to get out and do things and go with friends. And I always have such a beautiful time. But I think you have to just either do it on the spur of the moment or plan it. But you have to get out with your girlfriends and have to get out with people, because not necessarily for your business or your work. Something different to just kind of re-energize you. And when you go do that, you're so much better in your business. You're so much better in your life. But I have to really just plan it and say tomorrow I'm going, or even if it's to town for a coffee or across the country. It doesn't matter. Take the time, plan it, and do it, and not wait for the timing to be perfect.
I love that, Kristen. That must really roll out that noise in your brain to go to a different part of the country, as you say, to go to Arkansas, to go somewhere else. I can really see that I need that. I need to be out of the Midwest and go, maybe I'll come see Sarah or something like that. Just get out of my area. I can see that would really help.
It completely changes your perspective on things when you go to another part of the country or go see a friend and how they do things. It really that's one thing I've learned a lot in 2014 is my perspective isn't everyone else's perspective, and it has really been life-changing for me to see these things. So, and if you just stay in your own world, and you stay in your own world, you don't see other people's perspectives. So to go out and do things and see other things, it is really life-changing, and especially when you just say I'm going to do it, because like I said, the timing is never perfect. So you just have to go for it and do it, and it will just completely change your energy and your whole world. So it's exciting to do those things. So if you can, I say go.
I can hear your excitement even just talking about it.
It is. I'm excited.
Yeah. Right.
It is the best. We all have seasons of life, whether it's young children in our houses or like my season was last year where I buried a parent. And I spent 3 months in a house where I didn't have a lot of freedom to go places because he needed care. Some of you have seasons of disease or hurt in your body or broken arms, or children that have broken arms, things like that. And the bottom line is there are times it's just necessary to do it differently. But it's always important to also reach out in real life too. A warm hug across the miles is great, but a warm hug in person when you meet at a restaurant or you meet in your living room over a cup of coffee and clean the house together or go to some party together just to do something. Make it a celebration. I used to just celebrate things at the end. I did all of this work and I did all of this time somewhere, and then I'd have one celebration. My rules for 2015 coming up are different because I want to celebrate the effort. Just like I wanted Dare Whimsy to come alive, because every time I get you guys together individually, you are amazing. Whether it's Lucy Ann Moll, who's just come into our conversation, and she's an editor and a minister and a counselor, whether I'm talking with her one-on-one or I'm talking one-on-one with Sarah or Gail or Kristen, I want you all in the same room, and I have made that my goal for this year, and we created darewhimsy.com to be that place, so that whether you're looking for arts and crafts, whether you're looking for, man, have you been through this too? I mean, gifted parents and parents of gifted kids, particularly gifted parents who have gifted teenagers, they need somebody around to say, hey, you're going to survive this. It's part of it. And likewise, our problems are different than other problems. In my house, we're a blended family. So I have a child who's learning disabled. I have a child who's very musically and artistically gifted. I have another child who could care less about school but is gifted in his thinking. So sometimes you just need to hear from an elder or a sister or a person that has kids the same age. Hey, is this normal? Is this the way it is? I mean, I consider success every day. I don't kill my teenager when he was a high schooler. And, other people are worried about how good they look in public. There were some days that I was just thank you Lording that he got to bed because I needed an rest from his talking to me. He just talked incessantly to me, and it wasn't, you did a great job, Mom, during those years at all. Lucy, I love to give you the podium And tell me how. I know that you're so good about gathering online. I have loved the fact that we have texted and MLM and we talk on Skype and such. But what do you do to get in real life with your friends?
For me?
Yes.
Most of my friends are through church, and so the way, like today, I'm meeting up with somebody this afternoon at Starbucks. Somebody who I've connected with Biblical Counseling Center, who could possibly be a counselor with them, since we're looking for another counselor. But that's not my reason for really getting together with her. I just want to know her better. So getting together, for me, I'm more of a one-on-one kind of person. So getting together in those sorts of casual, more getting to talk, not in big group. I'm not a big group kind of girl. I'm a small group kind of girl. So getting together in those small things, just easy stuff like Starbucks, just something simple, something very doable.
That's it. It is doable. And the best conversations to me are the impromptu ones, as Kristen talked about. I don't need a whole lot of fanfare to make it a party. In fact, Sarah has seen me in person live decide that we're going to have a party, and 15 minutes later after TJ Maxx, we had a gathering.
Yes, we did.
And we did it just like out of nowhere. Sarah was here for another time where I had an opportunity to have 2 or 3 friends at the same time, at the same moment, unexpectedly. So we just stopped and dropped and made it happen. And those are the best times. I see Karen has joined us. Karen is an amazing human being. I cannot wait to introduce you to her. She and I met on the Small Business Lady team, and she has a business of her own. And again, she is an events person, and because she's connected to ministry like I am and like Lucy are, we are used to doing fellowship as the leader, as the teacher, as the person in front of a microphone. But you have to work hard to be out there as a human being, not just leading something, because isolation happens when you're surrounded with 100 people. Isolation is when they know you, they're familiar with your name, and with a name like Sweetie, my gosh, people know that name, they remember it. But they may not know me, and they may not know to ask how I am. Karen, I would love to be able to share you on the screen. Would you thumbs me up so I say it's okay to do so? Will you give me a thumbs up if that's all right? All right, I think she did. I'm having trouble seeing, but I'm going to plug her in so you can say hello. Karen is in Philadelphia area, in the New York area, Philadelphia area, that kind of end of the world, and I'm glad to have her with us. I'm having trouble popping her up, though. There she is. Would you like to wave to everybody? Karen has a gifted life of her own. I'm so excited she's visiting with us today, and I cannot wait to have you here. And I'm looking forward to it. Again, we are the Women of Dare Whimsy. Dare Whimsy is a place for gifted women to come and release, restore, and relax into the gifts that they are. God made us each to be different, and He made us each to be full of all kinds of talents, and our talents are for ourselves, and we're best happy when we use them with others. But the problem with being a gifted person is that sometimes when that happens, you are not able to slow down and let be a human. Imperfection exists for all of us, but we don't have that time to just be the human we are. And all of us need time to be accepted and be seen just as we are, messy and all. So I would love for you to each, I'm going to start at the left-hand end with Gail. I would love for you to introduce yourself and your first name, and then where people can read your blog and what it is that you talk about at your blog. If you have a couple of things like I do at Sweetieland, be sure and tell us that your top 3 things are. So let me introduce you to the first writer at Dare Whimsy, Miss Gail Roddy.
Well, everyone, I'm Gail Roddy, and I blog at gailroddy.com. And I am so excited to be here and so excited to be coming into my own in 2015. I turned 62 years old in October, and I became a brand new playwright and actress, and I am just over the moon with starting this whole new project, to not worry about it being perfect, to just get out there and do it. And so there's a lot of information on this one-woman play that I've done one time and expect to do it more and more as the years roll out, and it is so fun. It is so me. It is so expressive of the emotional part of me, not the perfectionist woman that I grew up knowing myself as, but as the person who just stepped out there on a leap of faith and just decided to do something totally different at a time when everyone else is retiring. So that's my story. I've also blogged about vegan food. I've started selling kale chips to friends and family, and that is a fun thing to share healthy food. So I'm at gailroddy.com. I'd love to have you come and visit me.
Oh, great. I'm so glad you shared so that everybody can get to know you, too. I love to read your writing. I love the way you make me think. Karen, I'm having trouble hearing you, which I'm not sure if you're muted at your end or not, so I'm going to skip over to Kristen. If you could check your controls real quick and see if you're live. It looks like you are now, so I'm going to pop you in so you can introduce yourself and tell us what you do so people can get to know you.
Hello, sweetie and everyone. My name is Karen Harcum, and I'm here in the Philadelphia area, and I am a health and wellness coach, and I am I'm actually transitioning my what I'm doing right now, because as a health and wellness coach, I did a lot of marketing for myself, and people started liking what I was doing. So right now I'm working as a VP for a small business person, and you may have heard of him, Jim Smith International. He hired me as his VP, and I'm so excited moving forward into 2015. I love the team that I'm on, and the team is very close-knit, and we meet very often, and we all meet when we're not even with Jim. So it's really a nice close-knit team, and I think that's really important when you're working on a small team. A large team, I just like team.
Is there a place that our folks can read you? Are you blogging? Is there a website they can visit to know more about you later?
Okay, and there is. I took down my website. It's still up, but I took it down, so soon I'll have it back up again, and you'll be able.
We'll invite you to share that information another day.
Okay.
Kristen, your turn. Thanks so much, Karen, for being with us. I'm so excited I get to see you in person today. See you in a little bit. Kristen, I'm so excited you're here. Let me pop you to the screen because it's doing crazy things for me. So here you go.
Hello, my name is Kristen Schmidt, and I write at bringprettyback.com, and I wrote a book also called Bring Pretty Back. So I blog there, and I'm also going to be doing workshops and more events about how women lose their pretty and in their lives, and then how we can bring it back. Just in little, small, manageable ideas, as well as big ideas that cost no money, but it's really about pretty as an attitude. It's not about all external, it's about a pretty life. So that's what I write about, and I write from experience because I did lose my pretty, and I'm working very hard to bring it back. It's very important to me, and it's my passion, and it is just really my world. So that is what I do, and I'm really excited about 2015 and getting out of my own way and really going forward, and that's what I do.
You know, I am so excited to have you here because I had you in my home for a couple of weeks this fall and again this summer. We did some messy kind of work working on the Tacky Brown house. But it is the fun factor. Kristen is the fun factor. Wherever she shows up, things just start happening. And I love the fact that she's bringing her Bring Pretty Back to Dare Whimsy. I am delighted and excited about something she's doing. I can't say a whole lot about it yet because she hasn't given me permission, but Create a Pretty Life is an event, is an experience, and you're going to be invited to know about it first. I know you're going to love hearing about what she has planned for us later in the fall.
I'm very excited. Thank you.
Thanks for being here, Kristen, at darewhimsy.com.
Thank you for having me.
No, you blog, and I cannot wait to put you in the screen because I want everybody to get on that list to listen to your devotionals and to hear what you put, because I personally have been reading them for several years.
Yes, I'm a blogger. Right now my focus is as communications director and also as a certified biblical counselor at Biblical Counseling Center in Greater Chicago. We have 3 offices going on 5 right now, and so it's just really wonderful to meet with, in person with women, couples, families, kids, little kids, and open up the Word to them, help them to see. Kristen, you mentioned about bringing back pretty. This is bringing back pretty in a different way of being able to see yourself through the eyes of God, of seeing just how precious you are, how God sees you as precious. Going back to
that's such an important message. And Lucy's also, little people don't know, but she was a health book writer and author back in a few years ago, and she was really well known for that space. She also is an excellent editor. She also is a really good friend, and I'm thankful that you're here with us today. I know you had short notice, but I'm so glad that you came.
My pleasure. Thank you, sweetie.
Next up, and she's at lucyannmull.com, and there's lots of materials there, and I love her download of the names that God calls you. It's such a good freebie that you get just for signing up to read, so I hope you'll do that. It's a really neat place. All right, next up is our Sarah, and I'll get her plugged into space. This is Sarah L. Cook, who is someone I met online only, and we developed an in real life friendship over the years, and now how many years have we been friends now, Sarah?
Gosh, I think it's going on 5.
We're getting old. You know, it's so fun. It's so fun. We're watching each other's children grow up, and I want Sarah to introduce all that she does, because when we started, we were both direct sales specialists for a company. She was a much better specialist than I was, but it turns out we've been moving this life up the road together, and now she's sold a whole lot of things, and I don't even want to begin to try and define all of them.
Well, you're very kind, sweetie. I have very many interests, and so I share on television about family finance on a segment called Family Financial Sense. I do that about once a month on Sacramento and Company, which is News 10, and I'll be there next Friday, January 9th at 11:30 a.m., so it'll be 1:30 p.m. Central and 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I also am in direct sales, as well as the co-author of The Parent's Guide to Raising CEO Kids, raising 3 young entrepreneur children. And my husband is a prolific writer. He's getting ready to publish his 6th book. So I support him in a lot of different marketing facets. And I just enjoy helping other women look and feel beautiful and empowering families to grow entrepreneur businesses and raise independent, resourceful, great citizens.
I love that you are here, and I love that people can find you at sarahlcook.com. It's one of your sites, and I will be sharing a lot of places they can find you in the future as some exciting things are happening in your world. Let me give an introduction to myself, because some of you know me in one arena, but a lot of you don't know me at all, so let me introduce myself. And I just heard that one of my dearest friends, Angela Belfort, is in Northwest Arkansas live with us too, and so far her profile's not showing up, but let me assure you, we're delighted that she'll be a part of the Women of Dare Whimsy too, and I'm hoping to coerce her into riding with us, because she's an entrepreneur, bright, gifted woman who's raised bright, gifted children, and I know she'll fit right in with our conversations. My name is Sweetie Berry. For those of you that don't know me, I am one of the women of Dare Whimsy. Dare Whimsy is a place for gifted women to come to release, restore, and to relax into being themselves as gifted women. It's a place to take off perfectionism, a place to take off competition, and have some girls who get it. Get what it's like to have the first grade teacher call and say, your child is telling me the right answer, and I don't know how to handle that. The place that comes into a space and says, gosh, he sounds so bright, but he's not doing his spelling work. Or, in my version of it, when they get to this age, the one who says, oh, he's only 22. We made him foreman today. And then you have the fallout of what happens when a 22-year-old becomes the foreman, because he can talk his way there and he has the education to be there, but his personal skills are still a young, gifted kid. So that being said, they just kind of echo what we ourselves do. We do things well sometimes. As gifted women, we just assimilate. We do stuff, but we don't know how we did it. We're not sure, and we feel like we're frauds sometimes because it seems so hard for somebody else, and we can't relate how easy it was for us because it was easy, and it just happened. I know Kristen deals with this all the time in her world, that she just does amazing things, like decided to write a book, and she wrote it. But she doesn't know exactly how to back that down until somebody else asked, and then she figured it out and said, hey, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3. And I think we go through that so much. But this place, Dare Whimsy, is a website, it's a community to encourage you to let your hair down, to really talk about and be a part of finding new things to do that you don't do well yet, to try out new experiences. Like I called Gail this week and said, I don't know anything about tea. I'm supposed to. I'm 50 years old. Can you please help me understand the difference between herbal tea and not herbal tea? I could have looked it up on Google, and I do read voraciously, but she's a tea aficionado. I wanted to know the straight source from a human who loves me and knows me and can tell me stories that will work in my life because she sees me. She knows me. And I want you guys to be able to see each other and to know each other, whether you're doing a class with us, whether you're learning what somebody else is doing to deflect things like isolationism, or whether we're just simply gathering at a beach house or a cabin in Alabama or somewhere in your locale. We're going to have 5 events this year in 2015, 5 different local events. Hopefully, in the United States, you will not be more than 5 hours away from one of the events, and you'll be able to join us either virtually in person to come hang out together with the Women of Dare Whimsy. And those are going to be fun experiences. We'll also be having a once every 6 week online gathering besides the weekly conversations here in different topics, and I look so forward to hearing all these folks. We have artists like Ashley Alico who will be coming and teaching us bookmaking. We have people like Marian Radmacher, who's going to come and share how she writes and how she does workshops and what she does, not so much to show how to be an entrepreneur, but to share what it's like to really be a gifted woman in your space of giftedness. I know Karen has amazing skills, and I cannot wait for her to share that. I'm learning about veganism right now from Gail. I'm not going to be a vegan. Let me assure you, Gail, you're not going to get there. But I can encourage and enlarge what I eat from, Snicker bars and peanut butter cookies to something a little healthier. Sarah is the systems queen, and she is a powerhouse. It's like, have you ever thought to do this? That being said, my name is Sweet Berry, and for a living, I am a strategist for brands, authors, and speakers, and I do a lot of ghostwriting in the past, but this year I've decided not to ghostwrite except for a few continuing projects, and I'm going to write out loud as myself. And you can see my daily life at sweetieland.me. I am a high natural energy girl. I'm renovating a 1955 house with my family, and sweetieland.me is where we share the adventures, and really it's almost a diary journal. It's more that than a traditional blog of a beauty blog or house blog or whatever. But it's a hot mess sometimes, but I'm making the most of messy there, and I hope you'll come visit. All right, girls, we're at 10:30. We're at 10:30. I want to encourage everyone who's on the channel to give us some kind of comment so we can welcome you in. If you want to follow us, we're here every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Starting in January, we'll have a 9 p.m. time. If you work during the day, these will be recorded and on the site at dearwhimsy.com/hangout. We have each week there, and this will be there in a few hours. I am so thankful you're here. I'm so amazed at the emails I've received this week, welcoming us to Hangouts, welcoming us to this website. We launched in January. I hope you'll join us for the party, because this is going to be worth celebrating. Every Wednesday we're here at 10 a.m. Central Time. Wave at them, girls, because we know that you're going to be back. I look forward to seeing you, and thanks so much for coming to visit Just Between Us Girls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This is great.
Thanks, sweetie.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you.
And Dare Whimsy. Get out there, girls. Don't just do what you know how to do. Dare Whimsy. Get past where you are. Try something new. Make mistakes. Make it messy. Dare Whimsy today and tell us how you did. I look forward to seeing you next week.